Hey guys, this is Ray from Time Flies Hobby Town here in Dixon City, Pennsylvania. Today we are doing another review. We're going to be talking about the new Nano QX 3D from Blade Heli. This is a new micro-sized quad here. It comes in a ready-to-fly and a binding-fly version. So if you already have an existing Spectrum transmitter with a 3-position switch, you can go ahead and just get the binding-fly. Otherwise, go ahead and get the ready-to-fly. It comes with this nice 6-channel transmitter from Spectrum. It gives you the 3-position switch for switching your flight modes. It also gives you the button to do the flip. So what's neat about this is one of the first micro quads on the market that actually does 3D. So what that means for you is there's a lot of quads out there that you hit a button and it'll flip, do a complete 360. What this one actually does is they put 8mm motors in it. They put much larger motors in this compared to your other micro quads. Like they have the QX Nano, the FPV, and the regular version, which actually has, if I remember correctly, I believe these are 5mm motors. These fly great and awesome, but they don't have the power to actually do the 3D. What this does is they designed this with a gyro that actually you can, in the first flight mode, you hit the button and it will do a flip. The second flip, it'll do a full rotation. In the second flight mode, what this does is actually, when you hit the button, it actually inverts. The way it does that is it has a special set of blades, and the motors actually reverse. So they go from clockwise or counterclockwise to the reverse rotation once it flips over. So you can see we've got one on and lit up here. What's nice about it is they also have a whole lot of LEDs, top and bottom mounted for orientation. What's really cool about this is in the first 2 flight modes, these are actually a beginner quad and a great quad for somebody to get into who's looking to get into just flying small quads and eventually possibly getting into the larger 3D quads. These actually have orientation lights on the front. The green lights, they kind of look like little eyes on it. In the first 2 flight modes, the green and the blue, the front, is always the front. Doesn't matter what orientation you're at. So it's great for learning your basics and flipping it back and forth. It's a lot of fun to fly in that flight mode. So I've done a few modifications to this one too. We'll talk about that in a second. So now the bind and fly and the ready to fly kit, they use the, if you're familiar with the old MCPX helicopter, it actually uses that style battery. It comes with a 200 milliwatt. If I remember correctly, I believe it's a 30C discharge rating. And that on average, those batteries are getting most people about 6 to 7 minutes of flight time. So, it depends on how hard, how aggressive you're flying it. If you're flying it light and you're not doing a lot of 3D with it, you're going to get a little bit more flight time with it. So there's a lot of companies that make upgraded batteries for these. We typically have like the Pulse 300s. Those fit nicely in it, still fly. Give you an extra, minute or 2 of flight time with that too. So, all right. One thing that you'll notice about these two is the blade guards, and there's this little fin at the bottom. So what's nice about this is it doesn't matter, which way you put this on the ground. It actually sits both ways. It'll also take off both ways because it actually knows its orientation. So again, it doesn't matter, if you set it at the ground, you power it on like this, you take off just like normal, or you flip it over. So neat feature about that is it actually figures that out even if you're in a crash. So, 90% of the time, it always seems like every time I'm flying, my quad always lands upside down. So with this one, if it lands upside down, let it set, throttle down, push the throttle back up, take right off and fly it again. So there's a lot of features with these, almost too many to list in a short review video. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll do a little bit of flying with it and let you guys see how it flies in those different flight modes. There is a third flight mode, and that's a full 3D mode. Now in that mode, when you actually throttle the stick up to 50%, it arms, and then it's the orientation of the stick. So below 50 is going to be negative pitch, like your helicopters, like your full collective helicopters, and above 50 is going to be positive. So you'll create lift either way. So as you learn to fly with this, you can actually learn how to transition to a lot of the larger 3D quads like the Invertex and some other ones that are out there. So this is a great one to actually practice on and learn on. Similar to Blade coming out with the small micro collective pitch helis and learning to get to the bigger helis. You can learn on this to get to the bigger 3D helis. You know, similar to, like, there's even the from Blade, there's the 200 QX, which also does inverted. So real quick, guys, here at Time Flies, we've gotten pretty big into FPV and FPV racing with the 250 size quads, and we also have gotten pretty big into racing with even the little Nano QX FPVs. So because this has larger motors and has so much more speed, we did a neat little modification on this one here, where we took the bottom fin off and we took that Spectrum Fat Shark partnership camera that they came out with and put a little servo tape, put a little Y harness on it, and just took a little rubber band and stuck it over. I will tell you that it flies awesome with this. So still has tons of power, flies just fine. I would recommend an upgraded higher milliamp battery since you're powering both devices, but we're still usually seeing about 4 to 5 minutes of flight time with a 300 milliwatt battery. So neat little add-on for you guys that are into FPV. It carries this around just great. So much faster than the Nano QX FPV also. So again, guys, we're going to do some flight videos, let you see what this thing can do in different modes, and hope you enjoy. Check us out on timeflieshobbytown.com and like us on Facebook. Have a good day. So mode 1. Mode 2. It seems to be the most fun. Again, mode 1. Mode 2. Now you can see how fast it goes. Very stable, very easy to fly. Chad, I'll let you fly mode 3.
Okay.
I'm not good at mode 3.
I'm not very good either, but I'll try it again.
At least to demonstrate, you'll probably do better. Here, I'll attempt mode 3. Here.
For mode 3, you do have to land and it has to be that way, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Has to be top up.
So once it arms,
Does that have a throttle kill? Does the flip button becomes the throttle kill?
yes.
Okay.
So your self level is also turned off in mode 3, obviously, but it becomes very reactive. So it's a little touchy in mode 3. I wouldn't suggest people start out in mode 3, unless you've got lots of experience with 3D quads.
Oh, we're good. Thank you. No problem.
Alright, that's me. That's I'm done with mode 3.
Okay.
Alright, this is Chad flying mode 3.
So this is the kill switch.
Yeah.
I'm in
Yeah, it
mode
becomes
3.
your throttle cut.
Okay, that's good. Okay, pretend it's a helicopter. Or not. I'm gonna have to put some glue on this.
Yeah, guys, the motors do in some cases do have a tendency of popping out a little bit. But if you notice, they're actually just held in with little clips, so they actually push right back in. I kind of actually like this feature. Sometimes some people find it a little bit annoying, but they just they push right back in, they clip right back in place, and it does typically keep them from other parts getting damaged, though. So
Right, and the motors are easy to change. They're just little
yeah,
plugs.
it's a single plug right there. So
All right, should I try it one more time?
yep, try it one more time.
I did better in my living room than I did here.
Probably do better with your VX9 too.
That's true.
Much higher resolution. So
That little pause on the I can't seem to get used to that. Throw it up.
oh, started. You almost had it.
Almost had it. What am I doing in my house? Sideways flips? Let me try that. Almost.
There you go.